with your live Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
Well, good morning, everybody. And the worst of the storm will be out where Ashley is, especially in terms of ocean impact. For our neck of the woods, it's primarily a heavy rain event. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. First, though, some new information coming in from the National Hurricane Center. Winds are still the same, 100 miles per hour, keeping it a Category 2 hurricane. The movement has now picked up in speed as we expected, now at 23 miles an hour, cruising to the northeast. So you can see earlier this morning going out over the Outer Banks. Now it is out over the ocean. It will continue to stay over the ocean. And overall, the trend will be to weaken Arthur. Now, he may strengthen a little bit over the next several hours, but because of the cooler ocean waters out here offshore from southern New England, he'll start to weaken a little bit. And you can see the path still offshore, saving us any serious impacts in terms of wind damage. However, we do get the rain and some rough surf, dangerous rip currents at our local beaches throughout the weekend. On live Pinpoint Doppler 12, it's been relatively quiet this morning, but notice this lobe of moisture now pushing over Long Island Sound. When you get the yellows and the reds, that indicates that some downpours are possible. And those downpours are possible this morning. But here's the good news. The flash flood watch does not start until noontime. So for the parade in Bristol, it's not coming down the entire time. You will get some rain, potentially some heavy downpours, so please bring the rain gear. But at least the parade's not later on this afternoon and this evening when the rain will intensify. In terms of amounts, we'll talk about that in just a second. Tropical storm warning for Cape Cod, Nantucket, hurricane warning south of Nantucket. So obviously a very dangerous situation to be in a boat in this location. And for our local waters, we will start to see some of that surf kick up a bit, especially by later on today into tomorrow. So even though the weather is nice at our beaches, maybe not so nice to go into the water tomorrow afternoon. So please listen to the lifeguards and your local officials. As we take a look at this cold front, you can see it is filled in with some rain across upstate New York. It is this front plus Arthur that will give us that heavy shot of rain as we head into tonight. You can see them kind of fused together. There is Arthur, the outer edges. Here is that front, a tremendous amount of moisture. When you have this much moisture in the atmosphere, that's why heavy downpours are the primary concern. Can't even rule out a thunderstorm, but really it's those downpours which will be our hazards. So if you know of an intersection which tends to flood, well, that will be the trouble issue as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. As we go through our clock here a little more carefully, noontime, that's when some of these heavier showers start to fill in, continuing off and on through 7 p.m. and even through 8, 9, 10 o'clock, the potential of more heavy rain. It's not until after midnight where we completely get rid of the threat and then finally enjoy a nice Saturday. 1 to 3 inches of rain is possible, some higher isolated amounts. It's the type of situation where we just need to watch the radar today. We'll be doing that online and on the air because you get under one of those heavier bands of rain, you can easily get over this amount. And some of the rainfall rates could be impressive, up to an inch, maybe 2 inches of rain per hour. So we need to really watch that street flooding and small stream flooding situation. Potentially more rain, 2 to 4 inches east of New Bedford out towards Cape Cod. In terms of winds, if you're out and about today, they aren't really that bad. Noontime, between 8 and 11 miles an hour for wind gusts, a little stronger at the coast. We can take that. It's not until after 7, 8 o'clock when Arthur makes his closest pass, when the winds start to kick up. You can see gusting to around 20 miles an hour by 8 p.m. And by midnight, we're gusting between about 35 and 40 miles per hour, a little stronger out here towards Cape Cod. So I think most of us avoid any wind damage here on land, although you may be woken up by a few of those strong wind gusts overnight, but 35 to 40 mile an hour temporary wind gusts, we often get that with your typical thunderstorm here in southern New England. So it's rain and not wind that I'm more concerned about. The heaviest of the rain this afternoon. High surf and rip currents, that will be an issue all weekend long. Just because the storm passes doesn't mean the water has completely calmed down. And again, some gusts possible of 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour maybe overnight. 7-day Futurecast shows it gets nicer for the weekend. Tomorrow afternoon, low humidity, mostly sunny, high of 82, and then 83 on Sunday with mostly sunny skies. Remember, you can always go to WPRI.com. I have an updated weather blog and updated weather discussion.
7:21 is your time. Eyewitness News with medical coverage this morning. A new study